Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 2024 Stash Builder collaboration. This month, June, the plan is for sympathy cards. And boy, oh boy, don't we need a lot of sympathy cards. At our age, our younger friends are losing parents. Friends our age are losing their spouses or even themselves. Yeah. When I started, I didn't know of any I needed. I now need 3. So, guess what? Better get busy, huh? Now, this is a little different to my usual style, but my husband requested it. He always goes for the ink blended cards, and he wanted one with trees. So here we go. I'm not entirely thrilled with this one, but it was the sample I came up with, and I'm going to see what I can do to make some better ones. Oh, and as far as I can tell, there were no cards except mine for last month. And it occurs to me that I was racking my brains to come up with what kind of cards we would need for our stash, but it never dawned on me to ask you. So, in the comments or in an email or however you're happy to do it, perhaps you could send me an idea about what you would like to see in next year's Stash Builder collaboration, because, yeah, I don't often need baby cards or wedding cards. I don't use winter cards or New Year's cards very often. But what do you use? I mean, I can't really make thank you cards and sympathy cards alternating all the year. I suppose I could, but I would rather do something more imaginative. So perhaps you could let me know what you would like to see, and we can carry on for next year if you're interested. Anyway, I've got some card bases out here. And it makes less of a mess if we have paper before we do the ink blending. Move these so that I can still find them when I need them, because I'm going to try to make 3 at once, which might make this quite a very long video, but I have been trying to get to this all week, and it was one of those weeks, you know? My time just wasn't my own. Part of it is that a lot of things came up, and part of it is that my husband has been losing ground a little bit, and his care is taking more time than it used to. And I don't mind, but it does make it hard to come up with a time when I can work on something like this. Because as adorable as he is a bit of a chatterbox. And it's hard to make a video when he's chattering at me. I had a lot of trouble with this moving when I tried the first one. I seem to be kind of getting the idea now. No, still a problem. If I were clever, I might even consider putting a piece of tape down. But that isn't at hand right now, so now this is really just a ground. It's not super important. I'm not sure you can even tell that it was there by the finished card, but yeah, no, you can't really tell it's there anyway. I don't suppose it matters too much. I very, very rarely make scene cards. I don't know if I'm having trouble because I don't have practice, Or if, as it seems to me, they're so hard, that's why I don't make them. But, so few people care about my cards. When my husband asks for something specific, I want to do that. I really want to, yeah, especially because he doesn't complain if it's not really very good. He's such a sweetheart. And he puts up with so much from me. I wonder if I'm doing this upside down. I'll try that on the last one. Because we have a ground, but it's not a great ground. I hope you can see okay. It's after dark. I've been trying to get to this much of the day, but I didn't. So now we're dealing with the dark. I have a little portable light up, but I'm not sure it's not making matters worse. It's funny, I had no particular reason to make a wedding card recently, but I did because it was on the list. And wouldn't you know it, the granddaughter of a dear friend announced her wedding date a few weeks after I made the card. So off it went. I had a wedding announcement without a crisis to get it made. And of course it was a nice flat one. Maybe that's better. There we go. I was doing it upside down. Now we know. Who knew? It does look better, doesn't it? Okay, now hopefully the first one is dry. Oh, that was pumice stone. If by any stretch of the imagination you might want to recreate this card. Now, mustard seed, nice bright yellow. That wanted to be lower. Oops. Now, let's see what I can do about making it look more intentional over here. Yeah. The first one ended up not too bad. It also looked like a hot mess on the way through, so I have high hopes. Abandoned coral. I used to use pumpkin. I decided that that was just way too bright. I hope you folks have been having a good month. As I say, mine has been pretty intense. And I discovered, for probably the millionth time, but I discover it every so often, waking up to an alarm clock apparently aggravates my stress hormone, cortisol. And that causes a high blood sugar for days. I try never to wake up to an alarm clock, but, some days, like my husband had an appointment with his neurologist that we didn't know about until about 12 hours before the appointment. So we had to get up and fly at silly o'clock because, of course, when you are not part of making the time for the appointment, they always figure that old people want to be in and out first thing in the morning. However, yeah, not us. We have remained owls through all of our age. For 30 years or so, there was no choice. I had to anyway. Bosses don't care what your preferred sleeping hours are. You'll be there when they say you'll be there. But I never did get used to it. I just didn't have a good time of day. That's better. This is supposed to be dusk. And although I think the colors are right, I think they're too muted. So it looks more like sunrise. And for a condolence card, sunset seems like a better idea, but I suppose probably nobody overthinks it like I do. Oh, it's a card. How nice. Wilted violet. And villainous potion. Don't have to wait for one purple to dry to put another purple on, right? Sorry I'm late. Partly it was just, as I say, this week has been insane for getting anything I wanted to focus on done. Partly I think it was a little discouragement. But then I started seeing Stash Builder videos pop up, and I was re-enthused. I thought that Wandering Dreamers cards were particularly beautiful. She does amazing things with sprays. Real. She told me this trick about how to make your own sprays with re-inkers. And I only have a few sprays that I got and then decided I was bad at it, so I didn't spend the money for any more. But maybe that would be a way to get better at it, you think? But you have to have a few colors to play with, or you have to make the same color theme over and over again, and that's just not so much fun. So I bought some bottles, and I will pull out the re-inkers and see which re-inkers I need more of to do a credible job, and I will give some of those a try. I love the way the colors are kind of loose, but she targets them amazingly well. I want to see if I can learn to do that. There. I told you it was a Linus potion, I think. And yeah, they're pretty quick once you know what you're doing, aren't they? Put the vignette on. I do like a vignette. Most of my photographs end up with vignettes too, because I just think they're pretty. Well, it is Monday evening, and on Wednesday evening, my grandson will be receiving the present that I made for him, the 200 Years of Family Stories book. And I have been promised a video of the speech at presentation and of his reaction. I think that's cool. I hope he likes it. He's the kind of guy, though, that even if he's underwhelmed by the contents, will still be very impressed with the work we put in and with the sentiments behind it. So, yeah. So I can't wait for Wednesday, which I suppose probably means Thursday morning for me, but oh, a dear friend just sent me an email this morning saying, check your PayPal. He sent me a wonderful birthday present, and now I get to decide how to spend it. And since our 22nd wedding anniversary is even before my birthday, I think part of it will go to take the family out to have a meal together. Probably won't be a safe meal because nothing is, but it's so nice to eat out. And the little cafe across the street has started staying open late 2 days a week to serve steak dinners. And we're entitled to senior prices. So I most likely will get senior prices. Whatever's on the seniors menu that is sort of safe. There. 3 sunsets. Now, while those dry, it's time to make the condolence greetings, yes? I think it's so very cool watching what everybody else puts on the insides of their cards and on the outsides of their cards, and people go to so much trouble Sometimes I think of it, but mostly I don't think of it. And then sometimes, like now, I don't want this to run forever, so I don't dare do anything really fussy. Let go. Thank you. Yes, I talk to my stamps. Don't you? They get lonely if you don't talk to them, you know. Oops. Starting over. That's why I use offcuts. Because then I don't feel too bad if I have to waste that piece of paper. And the other thing, in addition to an anniversary dinner, I'm thinking about buying some books. Books here are very expensive. And Rodney calls it the Australia tax. It's a tax just because we're in Australia. It does seem like everything, but especially books, are much more expensive here than you would expect. Paperbacks are often about $30 a piece. Ugh, that problem again. Sometimes I simply cannot get these to stick to my platform. Gotta get the lint off. The downside to using cotton to clean your stamps. Lint. I have a stamp cleaner somewhere, but I can never find it when I want it. It probably made its way to the bottom of a shelf, all the way at the back somewhere. I don't much appreciate the pyramid scheme aspects of Stampin' Up, but I gotta say, their stamps always stamp so crisply, so clearly. When I realized how they were doing business and that people were losing their shirts, much like with Avon, in order to be able to sell them, I stopped buying Stampin' Up. But I do miss them. Now let's hope that works, because I forgot and didn't place it before I colored it. Yeah, the first one was badly off center. Didn't work out too bad though. Yeah. Let's put some more lint on the stamp, shall we? Oh well. I'll clean it up well one of these days. And I think we're done with this. Oops, wrong one. We need 3 cards. 1, 2, 3 cards. Very good. Now we want to let those dry a bit before we mess with them. However, scissors for cutting out greetings. Corner chopper. I hope this works. No, I don't think I'm going to do that. I don't think I'm going to do that because I don't want to mess it up. And sometimes, if the square isn't big enough, it just looks strange. One day, perhaps I'll get one of those corner chompers that have like several different sizes of corner rounder. I look at them periodically, and then I look at the price and I say, nah, maybe not. Because I don't round corners all that often. Ah, that might look nice. No, not squared corners because of the decoration on the edges. Nope, that wouldn't look nice. That would look terrible. Okay, here we go. Now, with any luck, these sunsets are reasonably dry. Won't get smeared. I think I want some purple on that. There you are. Give the effective shape without the risk. I'm going to have to come up with another design, though, because one of the children I write letters to just lost her grandfather. But her mother is a very dear friend, so they both get a card. And I really don't want to send them the same card. That would be, I don't know, unfeeling? Not right somehow. Although I do have a few cards left over from other attempts, and maybe I'll use one of those. We'll see. I'm not sure. My husband, Rodney, has had a fair few losses lately, so I'm not really sure what's in the stash at the moment. And he has 2 more that he needs as well, so at least 2 of these are his, needless to say. Oops. Yeah. Because this is the card that he requested. I think they all know each other, but I'm not sure he cares as much about different cards for each person. He's an actual artist. But of course, art takes so much longer than crafting that he wouldn't really have the option of creating something for each person. And we're very nearly done. Half an hour. I think this may be my longest video yet. I hope it hasn't been too long for you. I know I'm not the storyteller that some of our friends are. What's interesting about these 3 cards in 30 minutes is that that's 10 minutes a card, right? But if I had made 1 card, it would also have taken 30 minutes. Not sure what that's about, but it does seem to be the case. I'm getting better at making a card from conception through to finishing. My usual method has been I spend days or weeks coming up with a plan, and then I spend hours pushing things around until I get them just right, and then I sit down and finish them, and a card can take 2 or 3 weeks. But that doesn't make for good videos, at least not unless I learn how to do editing and such. But yeah, that's not something that I'm interested in learning, so let's see. See if we can't make this look more or less intentional. Four condolence cards. And I'm probably going to have to make at least another 4 in order to have any in the stash. But there you go. Happy June. Next month, July, I miss you cards, if you don't have something else that you need more. I'll see you next month.